So, since it is Confessions of a Gym Rat's birthday, I thought it would be fun for the 52nd episode, 52 weeks, to do 5 things that I've learned in the past year. Because honestly, it's been a good year. And I can't really remember the last time that I've said, like, it's been a good year. You guys know because I'm very transparent on the podcast, but I have really, really struggled with like anxiety and depression since I was like 18 years old. And this truly feels like a great year. And I think it's a number of reasons. You know, I've been continuously taking steps to like manage my anxiety and depression and take care of my mental health. I also, sadly, but not so sadly, like let some people out of my life, unfortunately, this year that were causing me a lot of extra anxiety and stress. And this has been a very big year for me. You know, I've put, and not in a selfish way, you know, but I've learned to put myself first and what I want in my comfortability, you know, and I mean that in small ways. Like, my friends are having a great time at the bar, but I'm ready to go home. I'm gonna go home. I don't need to stay. And just taking up opportunities, you know, I got no one to do it with, but this is a great opportunity, so I'm gonna do it anyway. And it's been just a great year. And I was thinking about it because I forgot until I bought my ears in Disney last week that it's the year of the rabbit, which is my year. Oops, there goes the microphone. My year when I was born. So I'm like, damn, I've been having a year. This is my freaking year. So I'm going to go over 5 things, both like health, fitness, and life related that I've learned in the past year. And I wrote them down, but the first one is travel alone, honestly. I'm not saying always. You know, I went to Costa Rica this year with my family and it was awesome. I think I would have had less fun probably by myself because, you know, we did all the excursions and activities together. But if the opportunity comes up, do it. If you have to go away for work and you're going somewhere cool, stay an extra few days. It is such a big world. It is such a big country. You do not know what is out there until you go out there. You know, this January, I got a DM, and you guys have probably heard this story from me before. I woke up, had a DM from Bradley Martin. I'm like, what the heck? How about me? What the heck? And he's like, hey, do you want to come to the Zoo Culture opening? It's in Encino, California. I would love to have you there. And I'm like, well, hell yeah. Who's going to go with me? Probably nobody because, you know, my friends from home, they're not like that, you know? And it was just me who got the invite. I didn't know anybody going. I heard of 2 people like from the internet, but I've never met them before. So I went across the country by myself, showed up to this event by myself, and made fantastic friends and fell in love with this city that I am now obsessed with. So travel alone. Honestly, it's so fun. And it's fun because you're on your own agenda too, you know? And if you work for a company that's letting you travel and stuff and they're paying for your flight home, stay an extra few days, you know? Check it out because it's not fun when you travel. I mean, if your company's sending you to like Arkansas, then go home, go home. But, you know, I've been to Chicago and in the past year, and where else did I go? Cleveland. And I've gotten time to explore the city and do things. And it's been honestly really, really fun. So that's my number 1 tip for you. Let's see what I've got next on my little list here. The wrong list up. Oh, dang it. I wrote it down in my notebook downstairs. All right, brief pause. We got to go get the notebook. Alrighty, got my notebook here. So now we're on to number 2. Sorry about that, guys. Number 2, I should have known that I wrote this one down. Sucralose is the devil, guys. And I did a whole episode on this. So if you want all the details, go back and listen to that episode. But there are many ways that you can cut sucralose out of your diet. And if you are constantly feeling bloated, you gotta get rid of it. It literally retains gas. And listen, it's hard to forego anything, you know, like completely. Like that's like me telling you, like cake is caloric and it's bad. Like cake is bad for you. Don't ever, ever, ever eat it. No, we're going to have some cake sometimes, you know, but I do try and find options that don't have sucralose if they're available. And I cut it out of my diet when I can because I really, really, really dislike feeling bloated I don't care about the looks. It is painful. And we went into that and on that episode. So you can go into that there. Next on my list, you know what's something that I learned this past year? And I feel like it's something that I knew, but then I stopped for a while and then like I really found it this year. It was the beauty of training with a good partner. You know, in college, I used to work out with one of my friends all the time. And it was fun. It was like the highlight of our days. We got super, super close over it. But we didn't always push each other to the best. You know, we were goofing off and whatnot. But this past year, I became really, really close with Marissa, which you guys know. And she has just been such an incredible training partner. We don't get to train too often with each other because she switched gyms after moving, but she pushes me in a way that I could not push myself. But also in a way that's not harmful. Like she knows what my limits are and she takes me there. And it's just really nice every once in a while. It's, you know, it helps me grow as an athlete. It helps push me in the moment, get a better session in. And it's just a nice reminder that like, hey, you know, like you might think that you're doing something right or you're doing it to the best of your ability, but we are all still changing and we're all still growing. And I don't know, I think if you can find, it's like, you know, it's like finding gold. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You know, you got to find the just right partner and it'll make a world of a difference, I'm telling you. Number 4, and I know I'm kind of speeding through these, but they are what they are. You know what I mean? Number 4, you get the energy that you put out into the world. That is a huge life lesson that I've learned this past year. And I'm not saying that this past year is the first time I've ever heard it, you know, but I have truly lived by that this past year, and I've seen a lot of good things come my way. You know, just I feel like with the work that I've done with like my therapist and everything, I've just become a lot more confident in myself and walking around with this confidence, even in like the work I do and stuff, and the way that I perform exercises, like not just like, oh, I look so pretty. Like I'm just saying like being confident in the decisions that you make. It makes a world of a difference, you know, and people start respecting you and treating you like that. But also, you know, stay positive over things. You know, if you keep harping on the what ifs and like, oh no, what if this happens and all the negative, then don't be surprised when it happens. But, you know, like people will say, and I'm so superstitious about like some things, but like even the thing with like Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner, I was like, I'm not going to talk about it because I'm not putting that bad energy out there until it's confirmed. And, you know, things aren't always going to go the way that we want them to go. But if you put out like positivity and positive energy, I do believe that you'll be rewarded for it in some ways. Not to say that nothing bad's ever going to happen to you, but I think it also just trains your mindset to think more positively and just be in a more positive space, even if positive things aren't necessarily happening. So I can't stand a negative Nelly, and I used to be her. Oh my gosh. I really, really did. And I'm disgusted by it. And I'm not saying I never complain. I do. Sometimes I'm a little dramatic and I whine. But you are not going to enjoy your life if you are always finding the negatives or always worrying about the negatives or seeing everything through such a cynical lens. And listen, I've been burned. I've been scorned by the world before, but I'm a lot happier just being in that little happiness bubble, you know, just putting my mind there. So that's that. And then number 5, the last one, back to an actual gym lesson, is pre-exhaust exercises. And I know I'm going a little all over here, you know, a little bit of life, a little bit of food, a little bit of gym, you know, but pre-exhausting your muscle groups. That's something that I never really thought to do until I started training with Marissa this year. And it's pretty cool. I like it, honestly. So pre-exhausting means that you're isolating like the muscle group before going into like your compound movements. So I would always start my leg days, like my quad days, with squats, because it's my heaviest movement and I wanted to be the like the strongest for it, the most ready for it. I didn't want to be weared down. But I kind of realized, like through training with Marissa, like I'm not powerlifting. Like I'm not training for a power lifting competition or anything. Like it's cool and I do want my squat weight to go up, obviously, but what's my real goal here? And it's to build my quadricep muscles. So I activate them kind of the same way that, we'll do glute activation before like a leg day. I'll activate my glutes by doing like glute bridges, some abductions, and then I'll go to the leg extension machine and I'll do leg extensions at the beginning as opposed to the end. For the past X amount of years, I've always been like, yep, squats first, leg extensions so easy because I'm sitting down last. But by starting with them, I'm activating those muscles and they're ready to be engaged and fired up and there's already blood flowing there when I go into all the other exercises, if that makes sense. So if you're training in the gym for hypertrophy to build muscle, body build, then I would definitely recommend reading up more on that. Pretty cool. And listen, like I said, I'm a professional, I'm certified, whatever, but we can all learn a new thing. And it might not work for you. You might not like it, doesn't go with your flow, whatever. There's no right and there's no, well, I shouldn't say that. There is a right and a wrong. But you know what I mean. At the end of the day, like it's not that it's not that serious, I guess. But yeah, those are 5 things that I learned. And like I said, I know I went a little bit all over the place here, but I wanted to pick 5 things that touched on a little bit of everything because obviously you guys follow me on social media and whatnot for my workouts and my gym tips and all that. But this podcast aims to kind of help with a little bit or talk about a little bit more life and all of it because I mean, I'm in the gym for like an hour and a half to 2 hours a day, but the other 22 hours I'm being Liz. And I got to figure out how to do that. And you guys are along for the ride. So thanks. And I hope you enjoyed those tips. I don't know what outro I was trying to go end this segment on, but it wasn't thanks. It was probably something along the lines of take these concepts, do more research on them, and I hope they're helpful. I don't know. I'm losing my goddamn... I think I have ADHD, and I'm not saying that in like a joking way. I actually think I do. I need to tell my therapist this week. I was texting one of my friends the other day, and he was like, the rate at which you're switching topics right now is freaking me out. Like, you need to let me get a sentence in. And I was like, damn, my mind is a frightening... You know what if my mind was a visual, it'd be the teacups at an amusement park. And I'm just gonna end that there.